For more on Crimea and this weekend's latest developments, I'm joined by William Risch in Atlanta, and he's an associate professor of history at Georgia College and has literally just returned from Kiev within the past few hours. Thank you so much, Mr. Risch, for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, you've been gone for over a week now, and you were there even for the referendum vote in Crimea. First off, tell us what your impressions were of Kiev.
Well, life seemed to go on as normal in many respects, but at the main square, the Maidan, there was a great sense of gloom and a sense of great loss because of over 100 people being killed over the past month in February. Regarding Crimea, the feeling was one of helplessness to some degree. There was a Crimean restaurant at the Maidan run by Crimean Tatars, and they were worried that that this could be for a long time. One of them asked, really, could this be forever? And there are, though, people that have said it's the best thing that we can do at this point is to withdraw Ukraine's forces from Crimea. Others, though, are talking about maybe we need to take things into our own hands because the Russians have reached the Kherson region, which is just north of Crimea. And I was talking to young people in their 20s who are gathering flak jackets and possibly even weapons to do something about that.
Right. Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. The Ukrainians now in Kherson, the province that you mentioned north of the peninsula, are believed to be pushing a secession vote of their own. Is there a sense among the people there that this is far from over?
Well, actually, that attempt at a referendum in Kherson is failing disastrously. Something like 300 people showed up for a pro-referendum rally. 3,000 showed up on behalf of Ukraine's unity. So I think that's going to fail. Just like in other parts of eastern Ukraine to the north, there have been attempts at stirring up an autonomous movement, a pro-Russian movement. But in those cities, the separatist leaders have recently been arrested, and that threat of pro-Russian forces taking over cities like Donetsk or Kharkiv, they've diminished considerably.
I see. Well, the referendum results in Crimea that were published worldwide obviously showed an enormous amount of support for Russia, but you said you have a very different take.
Well, first of all, anyone from Russia could have voted, and there were many instances of people voting more than once. So in that respect, there were probably a lot of invalid ballots being cast and that were counting as valid.
So do you think the results were improperly reported, that in fact it was widely slanted?
Well, we know from the Crimean Tatar community, their leaders have said that the community boycotted the elections, boycotted the referendum, and so those figures cannot be 96% or 97%. And the opinion polls prior to the occupation of Crimea suggested that only 41% really were for union with Russia. This was done by a Kiev sociological agency.
I see. William Risch, professor of history at Georgia College, thank you so much, and we look forward to talking with you again.